Thanks for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to give you a system that I use that is based on David Allen's book, Getting Things Done, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity. If you take away three things from this video, I want them to be these three things. So I want you to find a way to get things out of your mind and collect them in a recordable format. So this could be writing on sticky notes. This could be downloading a notes app on your phone or using the notes app on your phone that you already have installed on your phone. It doesn't need to be organized to start, but it is very important to unload everything that's on your mind and in your head and get it on paper or a recordable format so your mind can focus on doing things instead of trying to remember them. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want you to take away is to find a way to organize your thoughts into quick actions and projects. So something that you can get done in 2 minutes, just do it right there. And then I want you to organize your thoughts into projects so that each project will have a next actions list so that when you pick up a new project, you don't have a spin up time. You can just pick it up and start doing. You don't have to think about it. The third thing is to do a weekly review. And this is very important because you want to continuously improve your system and keep your priorities straight. So, like your long term, short term goals, sort of what you want to accomplish, whatever. But just staying consistent with the system is very important. Now that we have the three key takeaways from this video, how do you actually implement this into your life? So, David Allen talks about a 5 step process of getting control of your life. The 5 steps are collect, process, organize, review, and do. So collecting is simply getting everything out of your head. You want to brain dump your ideas into a recordable format that can be writing it down, typing it in your notes app, or inputting it into your calendar. The goal of this step is to empty your head and get everything that you need to do in a format that you can look back on in the future. So you want to put everything in an in basket that you regularly go through and will clarify and organize it in the next steps. So for every action, we want to follow the diagram that I have on screen to clarify what we actually need to do for this action. The main thing to do here is decide whether or not something is actionable, and it's simple as following the flowchart. If it takes less than 2 minutes, just do it. And then if it's not, either delegate it to someone else or defer it to yourself in the future. Anything that requires multiple steps is considered a project, and you can define whatever a project means, but that's what it means for me. So simply a next actions list is what makes up a project, and getting all of those next action items done could mean completing a project. Um, and then if it's not actionable, either throw it away, add it to the someday maybe list, or keep it as a reference. The main goal here is to reduce ambiguity for your future self and make your future self happy. So we talked about the process of getting things done, but how do you actually organize it? And so these are the 8 uh, boxes that are on the outside of this diagram. So being organized simply means you need to put something that matches what it means to you, and that's what these 8 categories are. Um, a project is any desired result that requires more than one action step, as we talked about before. Next actions list can be various different formats, just simple to-dos. One thing that's very helpful is having a calendar. This can be for time-specific actions, so like appointments, phone calls, meetings. And you can have day-specific actions, so like something that you need to do at some time on a specific day, or day-specific information is something that you want to keep as a reference for that day, such as like events planned or activities that you need to attend. For non-actionable items, you can either throw it away, or trash, which is just basically throw it away. Someday maybe list is something that you want to do someday, but you can't start at this very moment. So some examples of this are like take a balloon ride, learn Photoshop, travel Asia, stuff like that. And reference material um, are important things that do not have actions. So these are things that you want to keep to make your future self happy. So for example, I have specifications for my car, such as the oil and the tire lug nut sizes, or the graphics cards of my computer, stuff that is easily referenced, and it makes my future self happy that I don't have to always remember things. The lack of a good general reference file can be one of the biggest bottlenecks in implementing an efficient management system. So make sure that you only put non-actionable items here because if you start to blur the lines between what's actionable and not actionable, you won't create a system that you'll be able to trust. Review is sort of like to think about the fun part, the process of reviewing all the things that you need to do, such as the projects on a regular and I recommend weekly basis. So this is reviewing all the action items that you have, reviewing all the projects that you do, sort of looking at your life from a 10,000-foot view, taking a step back and saying, hey, what do I have to work on? Um, and the most important part of this is obviously staying consistent. So you need to set a time weekly that you can review your projects, next action lists, waiting for, calendar, reference, whatever. And if you do this consistently, this will help you be more productive in the future. So it's important to review your short and long-term goals and making sure that they align with what you're currently working on. The last step is actually doing what you said you were going to do. So that's that's the most important part, is actually getting things done. So you can have all of this organization, but if you don't ever do anything that you say you're going to, then there's no point of doing the system. So David Allen talked about 3 models for making action choices. I'll talk about one of them here. So there's a 4 criteria model for choosing actions inside of the moment. So it talks about 4 different criteria. They are context, time available, energy available, and priority. Some of these are more um, self-explanatory, but context is basically like the location, access to technology. So like, are you at your desk? Are you able to complete something at your desk? Time available, if you have just 5 minutes, starting something that will take an hour doesn't make sense. Um, the third thing is energy available. So if it's like 5 p.m. on a Friday, you're probably going to be pretty low energy and not being able to focus. So it doesn't make sense to do something that is very strenuous um, later in the day. And so priority is the 4th criteria, and this is basically getting things done that are obviously more important, makes sense in the moment. The second model is the threefold model for evaluating daily work. And it talks about you either do predefined work, doing work ad hoc, or actually defining it. So this makes it, I like it because it's very simple. You're either working off your next actions list, working on a project, actually doing things, or you're doing things ad hoc as they show up. So your boss comes up to you, hey, can you get this done? You get it done, whatever. That's the second one. And the third one is actually defining your work. So finding a way to um, get everything out of your head, what you need to do. So like emails, voicemails, breaking down projects. Those are the threefold model for the actual work that you do on a daily basis. In conclusion, I just want to talk about the 3 key takeaways that I want you to take away from this video. I want you to find a way to get things out of your mind and collect them so that you clear space in your head for things that are more important, such as getting things done, rather than remembering them. I want you to organize your thoughts into quick actions and projects. So quick actions are simply things that you can do that are one-off, and then projects are just um, things that take multiple actions to do, but they are not necessarily complex. And the third thing I want you to take away is to do a weekly review. So continuously improving your systems and your priorities, getting your priorities straight in the short term, long term, whatever you want to accomplish. So after we talked about the 3 key takeaways, we talked about how you can actually implement this in your life using the 5 steps of getting control of your life, which are collect, process, organize, review, and do. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I really appreciate your time. See ya.